I'm Nathan Larson. I'm the executive director of Telecom Tech School, a brand new, unique school we just started. And it's kind of a one-of-a-kind training that encompasses in-class, hands-on learning, 8-week program in class, and then a 10-month paid apprenticeship program. So as a nonprofit, really trying to help out kids that want to get into this fiber, whether it's splicing, install, testing, aerial, underground, whatever. So we train all of it in a 12-month program. And like I said, it's a paid apprenticeship program, $22 to $25 an hour, and working with companies to get kids in those apprenticeship programs. So they can earn while they, learn while they earn the whole time for 10 months. And then boom, they're done. We offer to companies someone who's got fiber optic technician, certified fiber optic technician. I came from construction world, high school, college, after college, had a flooring company, a painting company. I worked as a insurance claims adjuster, but my main focus was running colleges. I was regional president, vice president of different colleges like National American University, Colorado Technical University, ITT Tech. So I had the school knowledge, and the two gentlemen that had the brainchild of starting the telecom school from Bonfire and Splash here locally in Denver wanted to start a nonprofit school. So we kind of found each other and that's where I ended up. So we started the school back in 2021, but it kind of took a while to take off. So I've been with the company about 4 months, and we've started our first class. We've got another class coming up after Labor Day. And yeah, it's been going great. It's been a great training, great learning experience for me of the fiber broadband world, getting to know all these people. But also in getting to know these people, we're looking for someone who will take on apprenticeships, students, people who want to donate equipment as a nonprofit, or set up donations, scholarships for students, because we're also working with a lot of lower socioeconomic type students, and a lot of these students who can't afford tuition, and really trying to help those kind of kids out with monies. So we work with the local county workforce. So all the, like Arapahoe Douglas workforce is a big one for us. And we're working with all the workforce groups to help cover tuition for these students. Yeah. Well, and we get a lot of the kids that go through the VOTEC high schools that go with the VOTEC plan. So here in Denver, there's a lot of the high schools that have VOTEC type programs. So we're reaching out to a lot of those kids as well. And that don't want to go to the traditional college, for 4 years. They want to go the VOTEC trade type path. Yeah, the good thing with the apprenticeship, as I found through my 35 years of working with schools, is, you're working for a company as an apprenticeship, or an extern, or an intern, or whatever, a clinical site, whatever. But if you're a great employee, they like you, they know what they have, they don't have to go recruit 9 times out of 10, or probably 9.8 times out of 10, that company will hire you and you'll stay there. So you do an apprenticeship with this group. Well, obviously you've been there 10 months. They know you. If you're good, if they like you, it leads to employment. And I was talking to a group last night that are looking for 50 splicers. Another group this morning that was talking about, we don't have enough people. We can't find enough people. So that's where the whole thing came from too, was not only finding people, but good qualified students, employees that have had this kind of training, and all the facets, not just splicing or not just underground. We teach everything, all encompassed into one program. Yeah, when we go into the high schools, for example, some of these VOTEC high schools, and their kids are like, well, I want to do the trades, I want to be an electrician, or I want to be a plumber, HVAC, carpenter. And I just talk about, well, do you understand or know what fiber, broadband, all this is? And they're like, no. I said, well, it's a trade. It's like construction. But if people want to be an electrician or HVAC, there's kind of a path, a journeyman type thing. Everybody knows what to do. Well, this is kind of new. So in the fiber world, that's what we're trying to create, is getting that student ready, trained up, done, just like through the apprenticeship. But to talk to the kids and say, hey, you're working with the internet. Oh, the internet. Oh, okay. And the one lady that I work with, she always says, well, do you guys play Fortnite or Halo? And they're like, yeah. Well, where do you think that comes from? And they're like, oh, okay. But then when you start talking about installing fiber throughout the neighborhoods, or even go through power lines with cell towers or whatever, oh, okay, then they understand. And there's like, well, someone has to create that stuff. Someone has to fix that stuff. Someone has to maintain it. Someone has to install it. So they're like, oh. So I said, yeah, you are working outside with your hands, which is what you wanted to do in the trade world. That's what you're interested in, like carpentry or whatever. But I said, this is a whole different world and it's booming. Everything was becoming fiber. So that, when you start talking about that with the kids, about the internet, installing, how it all works, connecting it all together in your house, all the Wi-Fi, all the Bluetooth, all the stuff, then they kind of get an idea of, oh, okay. So then we start talking about, well, this is what an installer does, if it's underground, if it's aerial, climbing poles, whatever, or being a splicer or being a tester. And then they kind of showing them, and then they get a good grip of, oh, well, this is like the trade I was thinking about. Same thing as construction or whatever. So yeah, a lot of kids, they really don't know until you really sit down and kind of explain it to them. Yeah, probably to talk to students who want to come in is, it's not as backbreaking as plumbing or putting roofs on houses, because I've done that. That's hard work. That's how I went through college. But tell the kids, you can get into this. And if you don't want to go that route of 4 years and $100,000 debt, this is one way to get a great trade, a great training without going into debt, without borrowing a ton of money. And you're making money within 2 months through the paid apprenticeship. So I really talked to them about that, because they're like, well, I want to go to school, but I also have to work. And I said, well, great, because you can do both here. And on your apprenticeship, you're working for that company and getting paid. We're just tracking it through the state and making sure you're covering all the things you need to cover. But we help the companies track it as well, so they get the hours they need. But that's the biggest thing I'd say to the kids is, you can go through this program, come out debt-free, earn some money while you're in school, and it's a great job and exactly what you want to do and what they want to do in that world. And then once they're done, they can kind of pick and choose the area they want to do, whether it be splicing, testing, whatever. So those are kind of the top things I talk to students about is, this is one way to get in, get training, low cost, no cost, and you're making money while you're in the program. Yeah.
Kind of like, other trades too, it's not going anywhere.
Exactly, yeah.
The internet.
Yeah, everything's going away from the coaxial cable and all the old copper, and, everything is now fiber. Yeah. It's been the people I've met that have just been wonderful. A lot of the groups I've met that want to help out, want to get involved, are like, oh man, we've needed a school for so long, this is such a great idea. But in the world of, looking at broadband and some of the things, I think some of the great people that work for some of these companies I've met that are doing all the work, aerial, underground, splicing, testing, whatever, when I've been out in the field with some of the guys, just how crazy it is and all the details that go into it and the training that is needed, and to help companies get somebody in their company immediately that can work for them, that they don't have to train, they don't have to worry about. That's been, to me, the uniqueness of talking to people in the broadband world, is trying to find enough people, number one, but also qualified, great people that have become great employees. And this is one route where, hey, you're getting someone that knows what they're doing. And we have a location, our school's right here in Aurora. Right by Buckley Air Force Base, kind of by the Aurora Mall Town Center, now it's called. But Alameda and Buckley is where our campus is.